Hello, Mario! In this video, I'm going to take a look at drawing elevations from a floor plan and some little things that might be helpful for doing that. So let's first of all have a look at one of my earlier efforts, which didn't turn out quite so well, so that we can see perhaps what the issues are related to this activity. So here in my first effort in my cost-effective cribs series, I had my floor plan here and I projected directly up and drew my elevation of this wall here. But it was pointed out to me later on that what in fact I was doing was looking from the inside of the building out, from here out. So this was not the view that you would see from out here towards the building. And in fact what I needed to do, and subsequently did, was to mirror this elevation here to get the correct elevation that would be looking from here towards the building. And what that was based on, if you imagine that you're standing here, that the kitchen push out and windows would be on your left if you were standing here facing the building. However, when you look here, you can see that the kitchen push out is actually on the right. But if we mirror it over here, that correctly puts it on the left. But there are some things that we need to change, such as the where the door hinges are, and particularly some of the windows needed to be changed around. But that was possibly another issue related to the way I drew the scheme plan. So this got me thinking, well, there must be a better way of doing this, a way where you don't have to mirror things so much. And this is what I've come up with here, is that if you're looking from the building towards it, so you must draw the ground level in and then project from the ground level into the building. Now that's fine down here, as you can see in this front level here. This is fine because we can draw our ground level in there and then project into the building. Now what I've also used is these 45-degree angles out here. These are at 45 degrees. So projecting to those and up. That means that we have a consistent ground plane or floor plane, and it keeps all the planes together by using this 45-degree connection all the way around, so they're all linked. So the first one obviously to draw is this one here, and I've tried to make each side of the house different. So this has a door and a window, this has the double doors there, there's a kitchen push out here, just like a bay window type thing, and that reflects itself up there. So drawing this elevation here, we put our ground level in here and we flick through to there, and that's fine. But when we come to draw these side elevations here, projecting there, we're sort of drawing sideways, and in fact up the top here we're drawing upside down. But that's only if we leave things facing north, as I've got there. But there is up in here in this little wheel here, these two little arrows here, which are very handy, so we can flick that way and then we can draw that one up the right way. As you can see now, it's going up, and as long as we keep the floor plan like the same, we can use the 45s to project around to give us our roof levels and eave, soffit levels and window heights and all that, and keep everything the same by just just projecting around. So that's pretty handy sort of stuff. And in fact, for this this image here, we can actually mirror that down onto this image here by going exactly halfway, and vice versa. So the large outlines of these two shapes are just the mirror images. So we can flick on round using this here so that we're always drawing up the right way, which is quite helpful. And then we put it back to north. Now, that's all very well and good. If we come over here to our sheet, this is from our model space there, where I've turned off the construction lines, we've got something like that. But that is not really satisfactory in terms of having things upside down. It's not a good look. So how can we manage that? Well, what we can do is go to here, and what I've done is put each of the little elevations and the floor plan into a separate viewport. So these are that's in one viewport, that's in another, that's in another. And within each of the viewports, let's take this viewport here for instance, we are able to manipulate the elevation to be in the correct orientation. First of all, however, we must unlock the viewport. This one's unlocked. And then we can see up here that we can use the view cube or the navigation wheel, and that enables us to flip things around like that till we get the correct one that we want. In this case here, it's now, which one is it that I had there? It will be the long side kitchen here, so it'll have to be up the right way, of course. I think it's this one here. No, it's not. It's this one here, which is down here. Now the pan is zipped in behind there, so what I'm going to do is just type in pan, and then that gives me the opportunity to put it up here like so. That's the elevation that I want. Just put it in there for now. Set the scale, which I'm doing everything at 1 to 50, so there's the scale there. Perhaps need to pan again, and then put the viewport or the elevation into the correct position that I wanted there, like so. So that's that elevation set up in there, and then we can move on to each viewport. Don't forget to lock it before we go. Exit out of the pan function and lock the viewport before moving on to the next one, this one here. So you can see that that's already unlocked in there, this one. And we can see in this one here that I'll just lock that, unlock it. Oh, there's the navigation wheel there, pops up. Sometimes the navigation wheel can be a wee bit elusive, so things become a bit problematical. So there you can see you can flick it round and choose whichever elevation you choose, and then move that into the correct or approximate position, like so. Set the scale to, in this case, 1 to 50 is the scale that we're using here, and then perhaps move things about a bit. There we go, that's quite better there. And I could just enter there and flick back to paper space and just create a construction line for lining things up here. So I wanted that to be there like that, I could line that up there. Similarly, I could put a vertical one. Oops. XL into V for vertical. Put a vertical one in there so that I could line up the sides of the house there as well. That's just a matter of personal preference. Doesn't really sort of matter, but just as a guide, some guidelines, and then back to model and into this one here where the little cubes there, and I can just move that into there so that the ground levels sort of line up reasonably well with the eye in this case. And then we can just stop panning and finish all commands and lock it up at 1 to 50, and there we go. This little viewport here, unlock it and unlock it. We can see here that we haven't got the navigation wheel, doesn't seem to be appearing there. I'll just unlock that, go into here, and what we can do there is try the nav wheel command, see if that run that command, see if that can help. Click out, click in, and there's our wheel there, which we can line up. Now this little viewport here proves a bit of a problem in that the nav wheel, when we show it here, even if it is appearing, I'll just make sure I've locked that one up. Yes, this one here is what's happening there. That's unlocked, and we've got the nav wheel there, but we can see that it's obscured in behind this viewport here, so it's not coming up in there. So that can cause a bit of a problem. But there is another way that we can, another command that we can use, which is MV setup, and this enables us to line, and we can use align and rotate the view, and then it asks us to specify the base point, which I'm just going to go to there. And then it asks us for an angle from the base point. So if I go 90, you can see that it spins it. You can hopefully see that in there. So the actual viewport here is we'll just go rotate the view, little baseline there, and we'll just go 270, which is the one that was for this, and we can see there that we've got that elevation in there. So there we go. That's that there, so that we can rotate in there without any change, like there's been no change to, I'll just exit out of there, escape, escape, escape. Let's just make sure we've got that in model here. Make sure, no, that's not quite the right scale, so it's always important that we set the scale. And it's 1 to 50, not made too much change there, and we'll lock that in place. And then we'll go back to paper space, just delete the little construction lines, like so, and like so. Delete. Delete. No. Right click. No. Still not going there. Okay, try again. Select, delete, not working. Okay, make sure I'm in paper space. Here we go. No, we must have some sort of command still operating, possibly. So everything looks to be that's in there. No, we need to go back to paper. Definitely it here. And try delete now. No, what's going on here? Clipboard, cut. Yeah, that's going to take that out. Take that out. That out. Oh, they seem to have gone, which is good. I don't quite know how I did that, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, there we are. We have all our floor plan and our dimensions wrote in there. And if we are to go back to model space, as I say, it's still drawn in there like that. They're upside down, except the key thing is to rotate them into the viewport. So this way, model space always stays quite true as to how we drew it. And then we can still, as I say, rotate round through here if we like to draw things up the right way, and always come back to north. So that just leaves us now with sheet 2 here. And just another little point I want to point out is that I've put all these. I did have a bit of a problem in here with a particular layer, and I created a new layer which I called the floor plan. If I turn the floor plan on like that and regenerate the drawing. Oh, I'm in paper space here. In model space, for instance, in here, I've put all the floor plan in a separate layer, which I've turned off in this thing, because you can see that there's a little bit of the view of the floor plan showing in that viewport from model space. However, and interestingly, if I come in here and oops, not quite things are not quite working as they should here. Oh, I've probably got a command operating, so there's my, and there, if I select something in here, things are not going quite as, oh yes, if I select a line in there, you can see that it selects it in that viewport there, interestingly enough. Now the way that I got rid of that, as I said, was to put all this data in here into a layer called floor plan, and then I turned that layer off so it doesn't show up in this viewport. But it does show up in this viewport here. This program's a little bit unstable, just seems to be at the moment, but in this viewport here it is turned on. Floor plan. The other thing is, if we go back to paper space, here I have put these viewport or polylines into a construction layer, which if we bring our layer properties in here, the construction layer, I've brought that in from my second screen, there's the construction layer there. It's a non-printing layer. So all of the viewports are non-printing. I'll just put that back on my second screen here. All of the viewports are non-printing. So if we go to here and go to plot preview, we can see there's our plan with all our elevations, and then we can start to put text in and dimensions and what have you in there, but they're all nicely on a plan. So I think I'll leave it there with, we can see there that there is a method that we can use our floor plan. Perhaps if we just go escape out of there, I think the final word's probably in model space. Just cancel that. So just back to model space, where it's very important that we project from the outside towards the building, from the outside towards the building. This involves setting our floor level and coming in, and then I think the key is that we can just jump around like that and draw each of the elevations up the right way, if you like. Probably a good idea to return to north once you've finished, and there you go. So that's all good. Cheers, see you.